Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are finally going to take care of the depots. It's been a while since I started playing with depots in the testing version, so I already have quite a few, 6 to be exact, but not all of them are in the location that I want them to be. Some locations were added during the testing, so I want to demolish, I think, at least one or two of them and also at a whole more. It's going to be something that I cannot do in a single episode, but I want to get started today and really get in depth with it because I love the additional depth this brings both to running a company, planning out the routes, planning out where you need a depot, and setting everything up properly, but also just being able to finally get another function out of my properties. Because these things, for the most part, have been about a bit of decoration here and there, and most of them I didn't even bother, but mostly fast travel points and having a vehicle spawner in form of a parking spot. So yeah, not too amazing, but now with the addition of depots, that's going to change, and we finally have a good reason to have some of these properties purchased. So it's likely going to be very expensive. Doesn't matter because I have money to spare, and you may have noticed if you, I don't know if anybody looks at how much money I have in each episode, but it used to be about 400k more in the last one. And the reason why I have less now is because this is actually a character backup. I always make a backup when I go from the live version to the testing branch or vice versa. And in this case, it really paid off because after playing on Hoki server yesterday, I didn't immediately notice that all of my car tags were gone. I talked about it in the last episode, but this was really annoying for a moment. Until I remembered that I can just load in the backup, which helped me restore those. Got rid of a bit of money that I owned in the meantime, but more importantly, got rid of the updates that I made to my Jimusi Semi. So this thing, I tried to do a few things to make it turn better under load, and yeah, when I got back to the backup here, that was all gone, so I had to go back to the other version and get the tune in again and upload it to the workshop. So once I roll back to the backup, I can get that back, and now it's here again, so this is all good. Long story short, there was a bit of faffing about with different versions of my save file, and we are now back to where we want to be. So let's take a look at the depot locations and situation over here. We of course have the main company building to the back there. That might actually be something that's going to be moved now because that spot isn't all that useful. But we have, I think, my only large depot in existence right now, right over here on one of the most expensive spots at the beach. And honestly, for company stuff, this place is useless. Vehicles go from here into this area, maybe go back the way they came from, or just continue going through. Same is true from the other side, but nobody goes onto this stupidly windy road on the outside, so yeah, this was all more for a demonstration, and now we got a much better spot right here. House for sale, 50 meters times 50 meters, so that's 250 square meters, I think. And that's going to be another spot large enough for the depot, so we are going to pack our things and take them somewhere else. I'm gonna manage this building by deconstructing it. And yeah, this is of course the depot that's named Demolish Me over here. I think it's the doorbell that I need to interact with, and it gives me back the thingy. What did it say for props? Okay, it's an empty spot once I remove everything. That's nice. I have a bit of an issue with one where I put one of those depots back when they leaked into the game by accident. So I purchased one of those, put them down at the spot, and while it's not there anymore, I still get the thing to be counted in the yeah, in the object limit, so that's kind of annoying. I even tried setting up my own dedicated server just to see if I could get rid of it, but yeah, for some reason, sadly, the properties don't just turn into rentals, so I cannot do anything about that right now. I will have to see how I do it in the future, if I do something about it. It's kind of annoying, but not really a big thing. Especially once you see which property has even been affected by that. But yeah, we now got the new one right here, right between the gas station and the cheese factory. Two of the locations I can deliver to with my same old Tenko 40 trailer. And they will never be none the wiser. Anyways, we can now construct another depot over here. How do I want this? I think I mean, in some cases it would be nice having this up front. Just the showroom part. I mean, I can rotate it like this. So this is the showroom part. We can locate from here. So the garage would be to the back. If I really want to drive into it, I should of course do it like this. Also, what I don't like about properties, since it's also calculating the space for the currently invisible construction site around it, I cannot really move it over to the side too closely. Been making a suggestion about that for a while, but so far no luck. I think it's on the Trello, but it didn't really make it in. But yeah, they had a lot of other stuff to fix, so very much understandable. But yeah, I don't know how I want to put it. Part of me wants to put it this direction and then just move over my company headquarters from back there to over here. Just empty out the buildings and yeah, put the chairs and office into this one. I think that would be kind of fitting. Let's see, where do we have the entrance over here? I think that's pretty nice. Having it on the side built there. I could also move it over to this end, so I mean the garages have doors on either side, so this gate right now wouldn't be doing too much if I put it off to the very end, so it might be better to have it like this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to plan long term here, and I should also be getting a few other properties once I want to do this really properly. I think right now we'll just have to go with my gut feeling and build everything around it. I wish these things had a snapping mode for the angle and being able to just put stuff right next to each other, get the proper distance and everything, but right now it's a bit fiddly and I'm not entirely sure if it's fully straight. It's really tough doing this well. I mean, that looks good from the orientation. Let's put it down like this. Okay, this isn't too bad. Where is... Okay, the delivery part is to the back. That's not too amazing, but I mean, that's temporary anyways. So yeah, nothing too bad about this. Let's just try and place down the parking lot so that we can use it for quick travel. This is also just going to be so much more convenient if I need to go over here to tune a vehicle. Because now I don't have to run all the way from there to here, it's just the other side of the road now. This is quality of life, this entire spot. I don't mind spending $500,000 on it. But yeah, so much for this one. I hope we'll someday also get the option to pave our properties. Being on the grass isn't all that amazing. I wouldn't mind if they would just make the ground gravel for some of these or things like that. That would be okay, but the grass doesn't really work too well. In the end, it would be nice if we could just choose what we want. because some people will have placed their stuff around the fact that this is all grass, but yeah, who cares? So much about this one. We'll get back to this at some point. I don't know if we are actually going to start constructing stuff today. But yeah, on to the next one. This is the Gang Younglings Depot. This thing is right next to the main road, which is incredibly useful. However, I think this plot in particular, this needs a mansion. This needs a nice posh house or whatever close we can build to that. It doesn't really scream depot for me, and I think this is incredibly ugly being here. There's only a problem. What else am I gonna do here? I need a depot in this area. I've been asking for a lot of other plots around this area, but no such luck. The problem is the small depot is 25 by 25. So, I mean, I can try, but I'm pretty sure that this isn't going to fit. Is there much that I would need to remove from here? No, but yeah, I don't think this is going to work. Where do I have my additional depots? I think that might all be in one of my Golema rotators, so we are going to look at the car nappers. I would have loved to call this category the vehicular adapter, or the vehicle adapters, or abductors, I mean. Sadly, too long for the naming here, so cannot do that. But let's check. I think I have some stuff in here. And this is a large garage, which I don't really care about right now. I don't think I'll be constructing any more of these anytime soon. I might actually end up deconstructing one of them. But yeah, this is the small depot, and yeah, it's definitely overhanging on both ends. If I rotate it, I mean, it should be 25 by 25, and it definitely is. So this isn't going to fit here. Otherwise, I would have called this Home Depot for obvious reasons. But yeah, this thing doesn't fit here, and that's a crying shame, because that would be a really useful location. I don't know why I got the drone out. I was wondering what I was looking at there. So yeah, the practical option would be leaving the depot where it is, despite me not liking it. This would be a really good spot for it as well. I would also be okay with having it on another location somewhere to the edge of the town, either side. That's not an option because there are no properties there. So yeah, we might be demolishing this one. But let me check on the map, because I think, yeah, this is a large property. This should also be where we have a lot of our Christmas props for later. So these might have to move out of the way, but I think we are going to be putting down a large depot over here. If I have one, that is. I think I have quite a few small depots, so yeah, these should be another set of small depots. How are we looking for? That's a parking lot. That's not a large depot. That's maybe I have mistaken the garage for that. So I might need to purchase another large depot. I might have one in one other vehicle that I don't remember exactly where it could be. There's so many vehicles. We really need a better storage solution. This is all kind of annoying. I don't want it to be local to just one property, but yeah, something needs to be done here. But you know what, I think I should... Nope, I got rid of that campy. So might have to go over here. Let me just grab another vehicle and we'll just go and get some more stuff here. This is gonna be a really expensive episode, and I'm also still trying to figure out how to exactly do it. Vista GT sounds pretty good for a road trip, so let's go with that. I think I copied this over from another character. I might have done an episode on this vehicle. And the tuning of it, Jesus Christ, this is 320 horsepower is a lot in this game. Okay, here we are, back at the architect. Where are my motorhomes? I think I got 2 in that location. I don't need both of them there, so let's get one of them over here. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. I want to go around that, but screw that tree, I can just block the entire parking lot. So let's go. We need another depot too. So yeah, this is going to go over here. And I think for that first up we need to demolish this one. So gone is the garage, we don't need that one anymore. Can I still put this here? Does that stack? Apparently not. The other side is also full, but I think one of them might be a parking lot and we don't really need that. I just remembered because we already got one here. Let's get off the other rotator. So back to the car napper slot. Maybe not go into motorhome at the same time. There it is. I should really get proper equipment in here. Some cones to block off the roads, maybe some tire repair kits, coolant, whatever. Maybe a few drinks. But we might be using this later again. We might never get back to it because I might forget about it. Okay, let's see. I think for this one the obvious rotation might be the best. I'm also currently trying to avoid having to relocate all those items there. But yeah, I think first up, let's get rid of that. Let's rotate the parking spot. And let's move the truck over because it's just slightly standing on the property. And might be blocking things off that otherwise could go there. Maybe I should just completely stay clear of that. I don't know how large the construction site is going to be. That might be a problem. And having the truck here might prevent me from doing what I want. You know what might also be a good idea? Since this is also a place in the middle of a residential area, maybe I should put the depot to the back. Let's have another house up in front, but I don't know if that's ever gonna fit. Again, these enlarged construction sites, they are being a bit of an issue. Otherwise, I could just put a house in front, pick out which one I want, and put the other thing directly after. But having the house there might actually, might cause me some issues if the construction site is actually overlapping there. But yeah, I definitely need to get rid of at least one of the lanterns here. That was the wrong one. I need to fully install it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this stuff for the depot decoration. That might just be for another thing later. I also eventually want to buy a Guangjin house because that's an option now. Getting the properties and using that. But yeah, I'm a bit mixed on this one. It's going to be a slight detour for any truck wanting to use it. I don't care too much. That's gonna be alright. It's just one road over. But do I want the depot to be the thing that you see from the road, or do I want that to be another thing? I could put a nice living house behind the depot. That would be okay. I might just put this down here and maybe rethink this after a while. I mean, constructing this, it's gonna take a few items, but with this location, the only thing that's going to really be a bit away is actually the steel beams, and everything else should be okay, so nothing really too complicated. There we got the construction site entry point to this end, might be okay. Everything else we'll have to see. I should have maybe bought another large depot. Maybe this will end up being a small one once I really get going. Let's move over again because I definitely need another large one. I thought I had one somewhere. I just don't remember where I put it. Or maybe that was another thing that got removed with one of my backup stuff that I did. But yeah, I want another large depot because we are going all the way over to what I want to. Fuck you, give me another one. That I didn't ask for before. But it was your mistake. You should have known what your customer wants from the get-go, even if they never tell you, so... Yeah, here we go. I want a large depot over here, and another one over here. If you've seen some of my episodes that I did on Hoki server, you know how I set up my property over there, and I would like to do the exact same thing over here, except that I'll be using a depot instead of whatever else I had. I had one of the garages there. I hope there's enough space here for all of that. I might have to construct the depot first. I think this orientation is going to help things, because I need space behind here. So the idea is getting this thing constructed and then having another building over here in the corner, which would basically be the office, which I don't really need because this building already comes with an office. But then there would be another building to the back of the depot and another one over here in the corner. And we would have a nice little fenced-in area where we can actually look out or get onto one of the higher levels onto a balcony of this building over here and really overlook the lake a little bit. It's really nice. It helps accentuate the entire property here and the surrounding area. So I want this again in single player, but I'll have to see if it's even working with this whole thing. So let's move over to this place. And there's nothing here right now. This is, by the way, this part over here is where I have the bugged leak depot building. So I'm just going to be building on this one and hopefully I find a way to reset the other one. Go to another one of these. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of building in progress right here, and we'll see how it all works out in the end. We're also just going to yoink the parking spot from here because I don't really want to do anything on this property right now until that other bug is fixed. As you can see, still told me that there's one prop over here despite there being nothing visible. So I hope I can fix that at some point. Otherwise, it's not really the biggest deal, but with how low the 50 objects limit is for something like this, it would be really helpful if I didn't have to fight for another prop here and there. Okay. I think we got our things set up right now. We have most of the properties. I could maybe get another one over here. This should be big enough for another small depot, so yeah, let's check it out. Let's get one of the rotators in, which is basically like the most oversized purse right now. Oh, I think I might actually, let's see, I might have this on the Bulco. Might not be there anymore, but I remember putting some stuff into the Bulco, maybe even the Tenko, but yeah, that's empty. I think when I set back to the live version, at some point I had this pre-installed and it wasn't there on the live version and got deleted. Is it maybe on the Tenko? Where the fuck is my Tenko? Ah, right here. Nope, that's costumes, more costumes, and more costumes. What about the other one? This is usually for my company. Empty, empty, empty. It doesn't matter. Let's just get going and not bother about stuff that I misplaced. But this should be just enough for a thing right here. I might have to move the parking spot over. The thing is with how the construction works, if I don't have the parking spot here before I place the other thing, the spot won't fit until I get everything set up. So let's put this in the corner as far as possible and then try again. Yep. This is working now. Come on. Why does this have to be so fiddly? Trying to line it up and now trying to figure out how far I can go. Looks alright. Don't need another one here, and by the way, if you're wondering, yes, the depots are 25 by 25 meters, at least the small ones. There are plots that are 50 by 50. They don't really seem to fit 4 of them because due to the placement it's going to be a bit inefficient. And I think there's also something to prevent you from making a fortified depot. 4 as in the number that I would be using. Okay, but I think this is looking pretty good now. You can also take a look at the properties in Guangzhen. Guangzhen, I mean. There's even one that would be big enough for a depot, not that I need to put one here, and I think this is going to be more like a really nice residential place. I should have taken a parking spot with me. Let's go back to the other one and grab that. I was kind of hoping to do a bit more today, but yeah, figuring out the stuff correctly and everything, it just takes a while. Okay, that's a depot. I need a parking spot. It might be on the other side. large parking space, perfect. So we are going to be buying one of those, meaning that I can get rid of my Campy over here, even though it's kind of convenient where it's placed. But any car should be able to get here within half a minute. So there's one spot down here and another one, the larger one, I think up there. I think the smaller one would be pretty good here. Seems to be a bit easier to get to. The other one is, I mean, you just gotta get over the bridge. But yeah, maybe we'll just buy the small one for now. Do something with it, and if something really good comes out that requires the large one, then we'll go for that as well. 180k. Here, bet. But yeah, this is a really small area, but hey, at least I don't need to use the Campy here anymore. I might have to convert them to temp Campies now, since I don't have that much use for all of them. Let's just do a little home invasion here, just wanna check this out. But yeah, I think this is really... This is a neat place. I can definitely build something nice here, and we'll have to see about that at some point. But yeah, there's now a lot of deliveries to be done, so that will be another thing as well. Let's go back over here and quickly check that out. I actually like combining the stuff a little bit. So maybe get a vehicle up front, get one type of cargo in there, get another type of cargo on the trailer. Maybe even two if it's a flatbed trailer. So we can theoretically... I mean, concrete is going to be a pain. I might try to automate that. Let's get some routes set up from the concrete factory, bring the stuff down here. So going from here through Gepha to this place, and then all the way back up again. I got 2 mixies that I could let run that route for a while, and at some point they should be done, and I should be good to go from there. I might also eventually buy this plot here. This wouldn't be the worst either. There apparently was also a small change to this area. Nothing too crazy. Oh, that might explain why we have the floating trees around here, because they adjusted that part and yeah, the trees didn't come with. This might be interesting for cement hauling in particular. Maybe if I go for the whole quicklime thing as well, because then I could just let them go into this depot. This one is always going to be a major attraction for the bus routes going around here, and also the food supply trucks. But this one would be a bit out of the way and just take a bit of the load from here. And yeah, I could only get a small depot on here, not a large one, so not ideal. But yeah, this is what we have so far. And we'll see what I do with supplying the stuff next time. Can't really do everything in this episode, and honestly, with how hot it is today, I'm just... I think it's time to end the episode. So, sorry if there wasn't as much happening as you would like it to be. Could also buy this one at some point. I'll wait for there maybe being another structure that has a good use, because with this one right now, it's a decent spot. It's actually one that I suggested, but I don't know if I really need it right now for my purposes. I don't really care about having trucks on around here. But yeah, we'll get to the construction stuff next time, get at least a few things set up, and everything else we'll see afterwards. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Until then, as always, have a good one, and bye bye.